Welcome to Capping Corner. Today we're going to talk about the test stakes. It's on Saturday. It's at Saratoga, which for 3-year-old fillies, they're going to go 7 furlongs. And the heavy favorite's going to be Gamine. She comes off an 18-length win in the Acorn Stakes. She also won at Oaklawn, but she was disqualified. And she also broke her maiden by 6 lengths at Santa Anita. The Acorn Stakes will impress a lot of people because she won by 18 lengths, and she earned a 125 on Timeform US. So what do you think of Gamine? Is she invincible?
Yes, Gamine, the only high performance or great performance was the Acorn, because on her debut, she won by 6 lengths, but that was against 3 fillies. That was a 4-horse field. Then she struggled when she tried a route, struggled to beat Speech. She just barely beat her by a neck. Almost beat her by a neck. And then, okay, in the Acorn, that was a extremely well performance. She won by 18 lengths. That surely people will see that race and bet on her. So the heavily favorite would be Gamine. I'm not sure she can duplicate that effort 2 races in a row. So I expect a regression this time. And another thing is that she's going to face another speed, because in the Acorn, okay, she faced Pleasant Orb, Lucretia. Lucretia failed in the Monmouth Park Oaks. Otherwise, I'm not saying that Venetian Harbor would beat her in the Acorn. Probably Gamine would be the winner anyways. But I think Venetian Harbor this time has a shot to beat Gamine.
Yeah, I think Gamine's race in the Acorn was almost too good to be true. And if you think about the fact she was disqualified at Oaklawn for a positive test, I don't know. You just kind of have to wonder if she's not receiving some extra help. But we don't know. Um, but I think you have to use her if you're going to play this race in the pick four. There's no avoiding it. You have to use Gamine, even though there's another good filly in this race.
Or you must be brave and use one of those, or Gamine or Venetian Harbor.
I suppose you could be brave. Let's talk about Venetian Harbor. She comes off a second place finish in the Ashland Stakes at Keeneland. She was also second in the Fantasy Stakes at Oaklawn. And those races were fine. She lost to Swiss Skydiver and she lost to Speech. And I just think those were true routers. And Venetian Harbor is not a true router. She has a sprinting family. And I know she won by 9 lengths at Santa Anita in the Lost Virginis, but I just think she was facing different kinds of fillies that day, and they were no match for her. She broke her maiden by 10 lengths at Santa Anita when sprinting, so I think this is a true sprinter. She could upset Gamine. What do you think?
Well, Venetian Harbor is a sprinter, but she has a lot of quality. Indeed, she tried to root and ran very well. She was second to Swiss Skydiver, but in that race, she beat the third finisher, She Dares the Devil, by around 10 lengths. Then she tried the Ashland, and another router, I think, Speech, beat her. But she ran well in that race. Now she's cutting back to the distance. I think she's her favorite distance. You see, she broke her maiden in 6.5 furlongs, and she won by 10 lengths in that race. And I remember that she really finished really like a rocket in the stretch. Then the Las Virgenes was a 1 mile race. I think that is her limit, 1 mile. She also demonstrated a lot of talent, winning gate to wire by 9 lengths. So I think the cutting back in distance would be very good for her, and she would demonstrate that she's a real sprinter.
Right, I think you're right. I think she's a real sprinter. I just don't know if she can beat Gamine because I don't know. Gamine could be a freak. She could be totally invincible, but we'll see. I think She'll make a race of it, I think.
I just don't expect another monster performance like the Acorn. That's what I think Venetian Harbors has a shot, because like you said, is too good to be true. Is another performance like that, and okay, she's invincible.
Let's talk about Perfect Alibi. Do you have any thoughts on Perfect Alibi at all? She was fit by 31 lengths in the Acorn Stakes. She was a good filly last year, fourth in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Do you see her in the exacta or trifecta?
Perfect Alibi was a good 2 years old, but now, like British Idiom, when she faced the good 3-year-old fillies, she struggled. Okay, that was his first race before the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Probably she can improve that effort. She, at his best, she can finish third, no more than that. I think the race is a match-up between Gamine and Venetian Harbor. And another filly is going to finish third.
Do you think Wicked Whisper could finish third? She was a good 2-year-old too. She won the Frazette Stakes. She was fifth in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, but she didn't come back that well. She was fifth in the Beaumont Stakes, won by 4 Graces, or fourth in that race.
Yes, but maybe she needed that race so she can move forward. I'm not sure she's going to take the lead in this spot. She's fast, I know she has early speed, but that would be a suicidal mission. So I think she's going to be in third place and try to pick a piece.
Oh, that would be surprising. I think she's going to go and see how long she lasts, but we'll see.
I don't know. In the Beaumont, she wasn't able to take the lead.
Oh, yeah.
Four Graces had more early speed than her.
Before we go, let's talk about Mrs. Danvers. She's actually 8-1 on the morning line, so the odds maker has some respect for her, and I do too. I think because she's a closer, she can pick off tired horses. She was second in 2 allowance races in a row, but the filly she lost to back, Indian Pride, is actually pretty good. And I just think if there's a fast pace, Mrs. Danvers, she could clunk into second or clunk into third. I think she's going to be part of the trifecta.
Yes, and we can't forgive her last race because she was eliminated at the start in that race. So this is a filly that needs pace, and the pace will be there. So I'm right. You're right there. I think like she's a closer, she can pick a third place. It's a good play for the trifecta.
And I'm just going to discount Up in Smoke. I'm not going to use her at all. How about you?
No, this filly looks out of class in this spot. When she tried a grade 3 race against Frank's Rocket, she lacks on that punch on the stretch. So this spot is too tough for her.
Okay, let's wrap it up. I'm going to go with Gamine, but I also think if you're playing a pick 4, you have to put in Venetian Harbor. And I don't think there's room for a third horse. I think if you're going to play a pick 4, those are the 2 fillies to use. If you're going to do an exacta, then maybe think about Mrs. Danvers.
Yes, I like Venetian Harbor in this spot. I think she has a shot to beat Gamine at good odds. In a pick 4, okay, on a defensive move, I need to use Gamine because if you have a lot of braveness, okay, single Venetian Harbor, but the logical is use both fillies.
Are you not brave enough to single Venetian Harbor?
I like the filly. I think this is the race for her to demonstrate she's a real sprinter. But if Gamine ran like the Acorn, she's going to win.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And I should warn people that if possible, this is really not a good betting race. I don't think it is. But if you have to play the pick four, then just use those two fillies.
I think the race is a matchup, I see, between those. I can't see another filly winning the race. The other fillies are to use underneath.
Okay. Well, that's our episode for today. Thanks for watching Caffeine Corner. Our social medias and PayPals are down below this video, and we'll talk about what to discuss next week. See you later.
See you later.